Okay, Olivia, all set? Okay, let's call the August meeting of the Public Safety Committee to order. First thing, approval of the minutes, well, not from last month, but from June 18th. Motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, privilege of the floor. Anybody here for privilege of the floor? Privilege of the floor? Okay, we'll close privilege of the floor. Number one, proposed resolution fiscal year 2023 hazardous materials emergency preparedness FY 23 HMEP grant program. Noel?
Afternoon, Noel Gutman, Director of Emergency Services. The HMEP grant program is traditionally a program, it's one of the recurring grants we get yearly. We've always managed to use this grant to leverage more education for our fire first responders. With the focus in the last couple of years and continual years on the training of this has been providing is on electric vehicles, electric batteries, and all the battery, which is really a whole new aspect of first responding that we're having to learn. So this grant goes towards all educational opportunities for the fire service, open to all the fire service.
And we've had this before.
Many times.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Committee questions on this one?
And this is for all municipalities?
We open it up to everybody.
Perfect.
Who provides the training?
Vendors, national certified vendors that we have under contract. One of the things we do is we go, when we go to like the Hazmat Conference yearly, which is down in Baltimore, a lot of these vendors are national speakers there, and we seek out those vendors to bring back to our area. So that's where we find them traditionally.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I was questioning the term of the grant. It's from December of 2023 to June of 2025. So we're already out of the term of the grant?
Good catch.
Unless there's an extension.
I
Is that near?
didn't see that.
Noel, is this a federal grant?
Yes, this is this is
Okay,
it's
so-
through Homeland Security, New York State Homeland Security, but it's passed through money through the federal government to
So-
New York State.
And their fiscal year is October, right?
These grants are always confusing because the years are oftentimes, delayed. So I didn't see that on there, but,
Okay.
I can get clarification and bring that in the morning.
Mr. Chairman, we can either pass this with the understanding that, that Noel will come up with the accurate dates, or we could just not take any action and put it off to audit and control tomorrow. Do you have a preference?
I would think that you would want to defer this to audit and control for
Okay.
clarification.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what we'll do. No, we won't take any action
No,
on
no,
this.
I understand.
Okay.
I'll get that clarification. so.
Okay, for tomorrow?
Yep.
All right. Okay.
I have one other question though. Is there any opportunity for local vendors or someone, Chautauqua County or Western New York to provide training at all?
if
Or
they
we just don't
if
have
they
that kind of
existed.
expertise?
If there were local vendors that existed to fill those needs, absolutely.
I mean, who's our suppliers for some of the things? I mean, those suppliers don't have, the training for that. I mean, it's just like, just wondering if
Most of these
there's-
are more national type vendors,
Okay.
but if there were any local type vendors, we'd absolutely look at them to try and, get them to be approved vendors for the county and use them. But to my knowledge, that we don't have any of those.
Okay.
There are some companies out of, like the Buffalo area that are, large companies that have offices in the Buffalo area that could provide some of it and have in the past, but here in Chautauqua County, I don't believe we have any type of local
Yeah.
vendors that would
Well,
provide
and,
this type of
even if
training.
it was, Buffalo or Erie County, I know
Yeah.
you guys share services and things with other counties, just would seem like maybe they have a contact that more regional, keep the money in New York, that's all I was thinking.
Yep, I fully agree.
Okay.
And,
So-
Noel, it says that, there's an in-kind local amount of $4,000 is required. How would you plan on achieving that?
That's traditionally been the in-kind administrative work that goes to it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions of Noel on this proposed resolution? Okay, so you'll check
Yep.
into, okay.
Start working on it right now.
All right, next proposed resolution, authorize acceptance of the gun-involved violence elimination GIVE grant funds for 2025, 2026.
Good afternoon, committee. Madeline Contiguglia for the District Attorney's Office. The resolution we have before you today is to authorize the acceptance of the gun-involved violence and elimination grant for 2025, 2026. It's the GIVE grant for short. It's to prosecute and investigate firearm offenses and violent felonies that occur in the city of Jamestown. The entire jurisdiction of Chautauqua County received $738,212 for this period. The grant runs from July 1st of this year through June 30th of next year. It's a partnership grant that includes the City of Jamestown Police Department, the DA's office, the Probation Department for Chautauqua County, and the Sheriff's Office for Chautauqua County. The Jamestown Police Department was awarded a total of $309,980, and they'll be executing their own contract with New York State. So the resolution we have is to accept Chautauqua County's portion of the funding, which was $428,232. $278,300 of that was for the District Attorney's Office. $113,432 was for the Office of the Sheriff, and $36,500 of that was for the Probation Department. The amounts received in this term of the grant exceeded the amounts budgeted by the DA's office, Sheriff's Office, and the Probation Department for 2025. The amounts that'll be included in 2026 will be in our proposed budgets for 2026 that we will present to you in October. So we are asking that you provide us authorization to execute the contract, but also to amend the DA's budget, the sheriff's budget, and the Office of Probation's budget. And all of that is a budget neutral amendment.
Mandy, and we've had this grant before.
Yes, we've had it for several years. This is I believe, the 20th year of this
Really?
grant.
Okay. Okay, committee questions of Maddie?
So the dollar amounts that we're increasing the revenue and appropriations, that is simply the 25 portion.
Yes, that is simply
It
the
was what
25.
was budgeted for 25.
Yeah, we we all budgeted fairly conservatively for 2025 because we don't know what the amount will be for the second half of the grant, the June to December portion of it, since it does cross a calendar year. So the amendments are just to increase what was awarded for the 2025 portion.
Madeline, could you briefly detail what the money's used for by each department?
For our agency, it's used to fund the salary of an assistant district attorney and the partial salary of an assistant district attorney. Both of them are responsible for prosecuting violent felony and firearm offenses that occurred countywide, but in specifically the city of Jamestown. We also use it for our internship program, which we can provide paid internships to legal students enrolled in law school, hopefully to interest them into coming to work for our office after they graduate and pass the bar. We also use it for trainings in the district attorney's office, specifically related to firearm and violent offenses. For the sheriff's office, it is for overtime details with the Jamestown Police Department and for the partial salary of a field intelligence officer. And for probation, it is to do overtime details with the Jamestown Police Department in relations to gun and violent offenses, but also for training for the probation department.
Very good. Okay, committee, any other questions of Maddie?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Maddie, if you look at the sixth whereas, it says that the amounts received in this term of the grant exceeded the amounts budgeted by the offices of the district attorney and the sheriff, but does not mention the probation department.
Yes, that, you are correct, Mr. Chairman. So I apologize, that was, it should have also included the probation department in, as well.
I think the committee could make that, treat that as a typo.
Typo. I do too. Okay, nice catch up here. Okay, committee, any other questions?
Just one more.
Okay.
In 26, we should get the gift grant again.
It is very, very well expected that we would get it again.
So do you expect to get less because we got more in 25?
No, we've, over the last, at least 3 years, the office or the jurisdiction of Chautauqua County has actually been given an increase, over the last 3 years. We received a significant increase, jurisdictionally in, I believe it was 2022. Historically, Chautauqua County only received about, just over 200,000 for this program, but starting in 2022, it grew exponentially and increased all of, the agency's revenue and, associated with this grant. So I don't expect it to be any less than the number that is before you, in this cycle. I would expect it would likely increase, but we budget conservatively just so, in case, just in case.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Madeline, if we don't get the funds, how do we react to that?
We would reduce the number of trainings that we'd be sending to people to, because we're sending them to extra trainings because we're getting the extra funding for it. I don't necessarily want to speak for the sheriff's office in this regard. I would defer to the sheriff, but I believe that they would be running less overtime details. Riley's nodding, so I think we're good. Also for probation, I would expect that they would run less overtime details and attend less trainings for their department. For the DA's office, the ADAs that are fully funded and partially funded by this grant, the positions would not go away, so that would fold into our local share. But like I said, I don't expect this program to go away anytime soon, but that is the risk, at least for the personnel in our office.
Have we received confirmation at all from the state that we're getting this money?
For this cycle, yes. For the following cycles, we have not received any confirmation.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anything else, committee? Okay, if not, we'll vote on this, with the understanding that, probation should be in the sixth whereas. Okay, so those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, next, proposed resolution approving labor contract with DSACC. Okay, folks.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Debbie Mikowski, Director of Human Resources.
Jim Quattrone, Sheriff.
So first and foremost, to clarify, my apologies for using acronyms in the proposed resolution. DSAC stands for Deputy Sheriff's Association of Chautauqua County. So we are happy to announce, we do have a member-approved tentative agreement with DSAC. DSAC is our deputy sheriffs, deputy sheriff sergeants, crime scene analysts, investigators, senior crime scene analysts. They also handle navigation teams, SWAT teams, bomb squads, water, emergency, I want to call it evacuation. In addition to basic road patrol. I don't mean basic, I'm sorry. So while we won't go into specific details about negotiations out of respect for that process, and when I make that statement, I simply mean we won't go into details about their proposals, what they initially came in at. It's not to say that we won't talk about what we actually agreed to during negotiations, we just won't go into details about the back and forth. But you can imagine that the emphasis was on wages, specifically as they pertain to retention, inflation, and competition. So, this group has 67 members. 37 participated in the vote, roughly 55% of their members, 100% voted yes. So some of the higher level key points, we did implement step eliminations, just basically to streamline advancement to the top of their salary schedule. Top step adjustment to align with other agencies and promote retention. We came to an agreement for a 4-year contract at 4% each year. And we did obtain agreements on quite a few administrative items that would clarify, update language that would reduce administrative burden.
When you say other agencies, do you mean other police agencies within
Yes.
the county?
Yes,
Okay, not other departments within the county,
correct.
police agencies.
Police agencies.
Yep.
Okay.
What do you mean by administrative burden?
So I think the one that comes to mind is some tracking that needed to be done in order to implement some language, or a provision within the contract. So either removing that tracking requirement or removing the provision altogether. Which would, between payroll, time and attendance clerks, HR liaisons, that is all the finance fiscal department. That's all administrative burden, and it could be a burden just for one provision within the contract. So we were able to clean up a lot of the language, remove some of that administrative kind of nightmare situations.
As well, I would say some of the language, we didn't really change the intent, but some of the language could get confusing. It result in some grievances, and once we settled that, so we could clean up some of that language as well. So we didn't really change the section or the intent from past years, but made it more understandable.
So we simplified it a little bit
Clarified?
in order to be more understandable, because the provisions that you're eliminating were there for a purpose at some point. To maybe make it clearer, and now we're simplifying it to make it more clear. It's just, the language put in there for some reason, so. And to eliminate it, it's just curious, that's all, how we would get rid of that.
And sometimes I agree with you, the language is put in there for some reason. Sometimes it's very difficult to understand what that reason was for, and looking at it. And I think that's the big thing is, and we have such a young agency now. Some of the officers that are on the negotiating have no idea why it was put in there to begin with.
Okay.
So
A lot of times it could be interpreted 2 different ways.
that's
That's
what
why
I
I
was
gotta
referring
say,
to.
yeah,
Correct.
I've been down that road. with
Mr. Carl
arguing.
was mentioning, I'm sure there was reasoning when they did it,
Mm-hmm.
but to get that clarification from the guys on the other side of the table, they weren't sure. And quite frankly, a lot of that was probably done when I was on patrol, and I don't know why some of it was done, so.
The two of you have read that and you understand what changes were made and you're comfortable with it?
Yes,
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
as I think everybody on the, negotiating, both sides of the committees were.
Okay,
So
thanks.
I don't know if I heard this right, but it was 100% ratified by
Yes.
rank and file?
Yes.
So
By
right
the
now, it's
37.
approved by the rank and file, so we're just waiting for the legislator's approval.
Correct.
Gotcha.
I'm assuming the language, sometimes specific situations came up that maybe somebody didn't foresee, and then that helps clarify in that manner, or am I off base?
You mean as far as a specific section
Grievance-
that may,
Grievance or something
yes.
that might come up that's
yes,
brand new.
Wh-
And if
and-
they wrote this and cell phones didn't exist, and somebody's complaining that somebody's
Yeah.
always
we
on
had-
their cell phone.
yeah.
or
We
something.
we
actually
had,
just,
we had that.
a very
Oh, okay.
were you in there?
Yeah.
What
So-
was that one? Something in the cars.
Yeah, we had cell phones in our jail vans at one point, and that came up. I'm
The
not,
tra-
actually, I
the
don't know
tra-
if it was in this contract or
transport vans,
in the
yeah.
part-time deputy but cell phone.
But
issue.
they don't- I mean,
They don't have
something
them
like
anymore,
that.
right,
Okay.
yes.
Just one more question. Where does this put us now in line with the other county police agencies? Are we top of the heap?
Towards the
catching
top,
up?
towards the top.
Okay.
You know, we're not at the top, but I would say as of 100% of those who were in attendance at the union meeting voted in favor of it. I think the deputies are happy with it. We were happy with it. I'm a believer that we have to work with our employees. And I will often say is, I realize money is not always the issue to keep people happy in your work, but that does help. And, but I think we want to continue to be able to retain our employees as they
Yeah, absolutely.
go up through the ranks. And, you know, as I say, we have a young agency, so we want to continue to keep.
When you get 100%, it's gotta be a good contract when you get 100%, because that's rare.
That's from most of them,
Not everybody voted, only about half the people voted.
Correct.
But
Correct.
still, 100% is pretty damn
Right.
good. Committee, other questions? If not, I've got a couple.
No.
Well, easy ones. Deb, this contract compared to the last contract, the last contract, I think, was 3% for the first 2 years and 2.5% for the last two. This is 4% for 4 years. That is a little bit of an increase. Why?
Do you want to take it?
Yeah, again, to get more in line with other agencies within the county.
Okay.
So even, I mean,
In the sheriff's department too. To get in line with other sheriff's units?
not
this
necessarily
puts 'em-
sheriff's units, when I
Okay.
say police departments, the police agencies, you know, when you go Westfield,
Oh, okay.
Fredonia, Dunkirk,
Jamestown.
Jamestown,
Okay.
Lakewood, Ellicott.
Okay. Because, Jim, this is a little bit higher than the inflation rate. Inflation for 2026 is projected to be 2.3%. This is higher than, higher than that. And then the inflation rate is supposed to stabilize at 2.1% by 2029. So this is almost double the inflation rate. But again, you think this is necessary because of recruitment and retainment?
I think recruitment and retention,
Okay,
probably more retention.
okay.
I think of a lot of our young guys, when they're getting hired, they don't realize what they're making or not making, they're just trying to get hired.
They will,
They will very shortly, so.
okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Kitty?
hi, Kitty Crow, Director of Finance, remote from Canton, New York. On that point of inflation, so just one thing I would add to that is that, you know, during the term of their last contract, when, yeah, they had, I think it was 3, 2, and whatever, you know, the
It
figures
was.
that you presented, inflation at that time was much higher. So we're kind of in a catch-up mode going into the negotiations of this contract. So that's why, you know, to get our salary schedule competitive with the other agencies, we're now looking at these 4% increases for this 4-year contract.
Okay. And Kitty, I know you're not, you're not on premises here, but do you have any idea what the total increase for this unit will be for 2026? Not the whole life of the contract, but just next year?
Yeah, so compared with what we might normally project, it will be a cost increase of about $700,000.
Okay,
But again, you know, another reason we worked hard to try to get the tentative agreement before you by this month, we did start several months ago, was so that we would be able to, if approved, incorporate the
For the
new
budget.
rates into the budget, so that when we present the tentative budget, this would already be included.
okay, thank you. Then just one last question. Deb, we have the DSACC. Does it have a unit number, like the next one that we'll take a look at has a unit number? Does this have a unit number?
It does not.
Okay, good enough. Okay, if there's nothing else, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have approving labor contract with CSEA Unit 6322.
Okay. So again, happy to announce we have a member-approved tentative agreement with CSEA 6322. This is our part-time deputies, court officers. They handle building security and court security. So again, we won't go into specifics about negotiations out of respect for the process. This group has 33 members. 24 of them participated in the vote, roughly 73% of their membership, and 100% voted to ratify. Some of their higher level key points. Again, we did apply step elimination, so we left this group at one rate of pay. There was a one-time bonus of $500 to be paid by the end of February 2026. Another 4-year contract, and 2026 is a dollar adjustment to get everyone to that one rate of pay. And then 27, 28, and 29 are 2.5% each year. And then again, we did get agreement in order to clarify and update a few of the provisions within the contract to help eliminate that administrative burden.
Okay, committee questions on this one?
Just same question, other agencies?
So this union came in and they had, not only looked at agencies in this county, but all of our neighboring counties and maybe even out beyond with their numbers. So again, gets us a little closer, comparable to them. This is, they're all part-times. That's been the area we've been having one of the areas we also have a difficult time hiring. So those who are working in this building is court security, building security in this building. I think every one of them, maybe one or two, are retired officers from around the county. And so we've been fortunate being able to pick them up. Yeah, but we also have 9 or 10 part-time positions for the road and for jail transports that we have now 2 people in that. So we have quite a few vacancies, just mainly because there's not officers out there to hire. So
And they have to be officers?
they do have to be officers, yes.
Okay, any other questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, folks, we do
If we
have,
may.
we do have another contract. You want to take that now,
We would
Jim?
appreciate that.
Okay. We had that under other, Jim, so we'll have to have a motion to take that out of order. Do I have a motion to do that?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we'll take this out of order, and this is approving labor contract with CCSSA. So the last one, last contract. Go ahead, Deb.
Okay, so, again, apologies for the late submission.
It's okay.
We appreciate you moving it up in the agenda. CCSSA is Chautauqua County Sheriff's Supervisors Association. So no unit number to this one either. And as of Monday morning, we're pleased to announce we have a member-approved tentative agreement with CCSSA. This is our lieutenants group, so they manage DSAC and CSEA 6322. They are 7 members, all 7 participated in the vote, 100% voted to ratify. Some of their higher level key points, We did apply a first-year adjustment, basically to address compression with their direct reports. So as we're going through contract negotiations, with DSAC and 6322, we need to be very mindful that now we have CCSE, SSA, who manage those two groups. So if we're applying an increase to them, that we're running into a compression situation where potentially the lieutenants are making less than those they're managing. It was another 4-year contract. 27, 28, and 29 are 4% each year. And then again, we did obtain language clarification and updates that would be beneficial on the administrative side of the new contract.
Okay, committee questions? Marty?
Might as well ask one more time.
Last
Other
time, Marty.
agencies?
Other agencies, again, comparison, I don't wanna say, the other agencies that have, basically, these are our lieutenants.
Mhm.
Our lieutenants are salaried, so they get no overtime.
Oh.
Other agencies get overtime, at least the two that I know of, the lieutenants get the overtime pay for that, so, if we calculate that in there, gets them a little closer.
It's tough to compare, though, Jim, our folks with other
I think the
agencies.
base salaries are comparable,
Okay,
yeah,
but the
Potential.
overtime.
But overtime,
Okay.
right.
Potential still
correct,
higher
correct.
elsewhere.
Okay, committee, other questions on this proposed resolution?
No.
If not, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay,
Thank
Jim and Deb,
Thank you.
thank you.
gonna
Excellent
stay.
job on, I know you are. Somebody else I think is taking off.
Yeah, we do wanna thank you for entertaining the late resolutions, we knew they were coming, but
No,
We
no
do
problem.
not
Those,
take that
those things
lightly.
happen. But we would like to thank both you, Jim, and Debbie. This is a lot of work, 4-year contract, that's not easy. Thank you, we appreciate
you
it.
know,
Thank you.
thank
Kitty.
And Kitty in the finance department too.
and there was a lot of, I wanna, thank everybody that was on both sides of the negotiating. I think they were very cordial and professional, and, our goal was to provide the best service for the county and keep our community safe, and,
I think we got that.
yeah, but I want, yes, and I wanna also
Okay.
thank the legislator. I think one of our biggest retention factors is the support we get from, our leaders in county government, and, that doesn't go unnoticed by our membership, so, thank you.
Well, you guys did a
Well
nice
said.
job, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Jim, you're still with us?
I'm still with you.
Okay,
I'm in backup coming down.
okay. Oh, I see that. Okay, next, proposed resolution, amend 2025 budget for Office of the Sheriff.
Bradley Unlaw, Fiscal Supervisor. This first resolution we have in front of you is to amend the budget for the Grants Department in the Sheriff's Office. We are requesting to increase appropriation account, the equipment account, $257,458, and to increase revenue accounts to offset the expenses in multiple classifications, under federal aid and New York State aid, $257,458. This is a budget neutral amendment. Everything is covered by grant funds, no local share.
Okay, and budget neutral. Gotcha. Okay, committee questions on this one?
I got one.
It's not the same one as before.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Just, so you went over, it was a result that you got grants that you did not expect?
We had the grants, but we had some reallocations of the grants in the budget on the grant side to purchase equipment that maybe we didn't plan on purchasing.
Okay.
So that's why
I mean, it
we have the
was-
amendment.
It was made doable by the reallocation. It wasn't like, oh boy, we bought more equipment.
Correct.
than we
Correct.
should have. It just helped you do that, okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, aid other public safety. What does that mean by aid other public safety?
Bottom line.
$71,615.
That is specifically the state law enforcement terrorism prevention program grant. It's just classified as other public safety aid versus the other ones were always broken out. I think just how they budgeted in previous years, we had, we always got the Operation Stone Garden grant, so they had a revenue line item for that. But the other public safety aid is more trying to consolidate the grants into one revenue line item.
Clear as mud.
Okay, anything else, committee? If not, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, next, amend 2025 budget for office for the sheriff, E911.
This budget amendment is to increase our contractual account in the E911 department, $11,000, and increase our revenue account under non-property tax items, $11,000. This amendment is specifically for an increase in software maintenance. A lot of our grants have been delayed that would normally pay for some of these softwares, and because of the performance period, we were unable to pay for them with the grants. So they fall under E911, so we are able to pay for them under that, but most of these softwares are needed for daily operations.
And it's just an offset.
Correct, this is also a budget neutral amendment.
Okay, any other questions on this one, folks?
So if we do get a grant or whatever, then that will,
Yes, we try to, if the grant is within the performance period of when we purchased, paid for the software, we do try to pay for it with the grant funds.
Okay, those in favor of this one?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, lastly, amend 2025 budget for Office for the Sheriff, W911. Okay, guys?
This resolution also is to increase the contractual account in W911, $76,729, and then increase our revenue for non-property tax items, $76,729. Again, same scenario as E911. We have an increase in software. Our grants have been delayed, so they fall under W911, so we can pay for them under W911. And it is a budget neutral amendment.
Pretty self-explanatory. Committee questions?
what is the difference between W911 and E9?
Well, one's wireless 911, so, your cell phones, they have a wireless surcharge on them. Part of it comes to us, part of it goes to the state. And then E911 is the landline portion of it, also surcharge. Part of us comes to us in the state.
Thank you.
Didn't know that.
It's your fun fact.
Either did I until about 7 years ago.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Folks, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, is there anything else to come before the committee? Nothing under other? All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thanks, folks.
I'm gonna oppose to
Okay.
adjourn sometime.
Yeah, we're-